A Green Beret or something? No. But he's not trained at all with my mission. Not at all. These guys go out there and do missions and they disappear. Military guys, or one of them military guys will just disappear. We don't get to hear those stories. We get to hear only great amount of stories from 411 missing. Paulites, David Paulites. And that guy has done so much, and people don't know it. And his biggest thing he wants to say is, go in groups. He probably doesn't even want to say go in groups of 2. But he will say minimally go in groups of 2. But I bet you he wants to say higher than that. The facts and statistics that man knows about what's going on out there, I encourage my kids to watch that show. To young adults, to watch that show so they can feel me a little bit more and realize that I'm not bullshitting you. Because that guy gives a better message of safety. And what I try to say and pray is someday I get to meet that guy and he wants to hear what I have to say. I don't need to know his stories. I know his stories and I get it. And I listen to them and I watch them and I want to know them. But I don't need to know them. It helps give me the juice. He needs to know my information. He doesn't need to know it fact for fact right off the bat. He just needs to know some of it. So he starts to realize, okay, this guy actually is carrying a booklet of information. And maybe he is our next step. I'm just a normal guy. People call, you know how I'm humble. I'm trying to be a humble person. I only am humble, I think. I think my kids would say I'm pretty humble. And it's pretty easy to pick up on that reading of humble, as I say as a father. Because if you're not humble and stuff, you generally will irritate your children in a needy, greedy kind of way. I might irritate them too much on this subject. And other than that, I probably don't irritate them very much. And they're 19 to 23 years old, and there's 4 of them, and there's 2 and 2. And anyways, and you got to take my word for it, but you're taking my word for it on a lot of years of stuff, and my word has never changed. It's only grown to more information. Adjustments, maybe a few, but the subject has only gotten bigger. And people who have an issue with Bigfoot beings and supernatural beings, well, you tell me a Bigfoot isn't supernatural. How is a Bigfoot not supernatural? How come they're not being seen like bears get seen? Is there more than them than the black bear? Do you know? Do you have a guess? You start following me, you can start to be able to get guesses going on with stuff. And lately I've been putting out there that you got to think pretty small. Think about a softball size, but black shadowing, black marking in trees. Doesn't necessarily mean that as the bush is going on, like say the blackness is right through my hands there, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not following up with more size, right? But I am saying that this blackness that we get to see, that softball size, is something for you to pay attention to. Down at the base of trees and stuff, start counting and looking at black on some of my videos and start registering, okay, well, I see 1,000,000 of that tone of green. I see 1,000,000 of that tone of green, 100,000 of that tone. I see and can tell that brown stumps, the